Good evening, everybody. Christian Karasiewicz here. Tonight's topic is about checking in. Specifically, I want to talk about Foursquare. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there, well, hey, what about Gowalla? What about Facebook Places, etc.? I'll cover those at a later date. But right now, I've been using Foursquare a lot. I've been using it for the last couple of years, actually. And it's really started to ramp up as far as the users that are on there and whatnot, and how many businesses are starting to participate. And for those that are unfamiliar with Foursquare, basically, like I said, it is a check-in service. It's a social network check-in service. And so, for example, what you will typically do is you will utilize it to check into different places where you're kind of going, kind of like a little roadmap here, or a little Hansel and Gretel, a little breadcrumb action. And you check into places, and in some cases, you earn points. In other cases, you might earn products, etc., etc., etc. What's really great, though, is that unlike your traditional social network that's very flat, Foursquare uses a point system. So when you check into a place, for instance, if you're the first person there, you might get 3 points, for instance. And by being friends with people on Foursquare, what's really great about this is it creates a leaderboard. So it's kind of like a fun little game. So you're checking into places, you're leaving tips, you're doing all sorts of things. And doing this will not only help you, it helps you stay in touch with your friends, kind of find out what they're doing, what's going on, or find out other people that you may not know that are in that area. But what Foursquare also does is it provides you the ability to branch out, a lot more. Instead of, like if you're on Facebook, for instance, you're always on there with the same old friends. So to get started with Foursquare, just want to go over, there's basically 2 ways you can do this. One is you can go to Foursquare and you can create a free account with them, and it'll let you log in, and you can even add this to your Facebook page, by the way. And the second thing you can do is if you have a mobile device, for instance, I have the Foursquare application on here, and I can check in. It uses my GPS, which is really nice, to tell me not only what's around me, but to tell me who's there, and also to tell me about any specials or anything else that's going on. So tonight's topic is not just about Foursquare, but I want to talk about 3 different techniques that you as a business owner, for instance, can use to drive business to your drive existing business, and also to recruit new business. And those 3 areas I want to cover are checking in, group checking in, and rewarding people that frequent your store the most, kind of like a customer loyalty program. Instead of those little swipe cards you get at the grocery store, you reward somebody just for using their smartphone to check in. So the first item that I wanted to cover of that list is encouraging people to check in. A while back, Banana Republic, for instance, they ran a discount, a special actually. They ran a special for people that checked into Foursquare. And it was really simple. All you had to do was go to a Banana Republic store, check in with Foursquare, and then up popped a nice little message that said, hey, thanks for checking in, here's 10% or here's 15% or whatever. And all you had to do was show that to the associate, and the associate would then take it and take that percentage off your bill. This is a great technique as a business owner to get people in your store. I can personally attest to this. Tonight I checked into a place, a restaurant, and for having checked into that place, they offered me a free appetizer. So right there, just for checking in, I spent what, like a couple minutes there. I got, a $7 appetizer. Now, this is this is just pretty amazing. You've got, Banana Republic here. You've got some other stores, some restaurants, etc. They're pushing deals to people. Starbucks is another great company that typically likes to do this. They like to typically offer, a couple dollars off, etc. Or they might offer you certain things like, hey, check in and we'll give you this, or we might give you that. And if you think about it, where am I most likely to go as a business owner? I'm probably going to go where the discounts are at, because everybody's competing for business these days. And so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about was, encouraging people to check in. You want people to check in. So in a sense, you kind of need to entice them. Which leads me into the second point, which is group check-ins. You know, yes, you can go to the airport, for instance, and you can check in with 50 people and get the Swarm badge, which is a badge that Twitter awards you. But other companies, for instance, Chili's has done this. They've taken this to new heights. They have basically said, you know what, like, unlike the restaurant today where I went, where they said, hey, just you check in, if you bring in your friends, in this case, they want to attract bigger parties. So they might want to bring in 3, 4, 5 people and say, hey, bring in a party of 4, check into Foursquare, and we'll give your table a free appetizer. Again, you know, this doesn't cost the business anything unless people take advantage of it. And 9 times out of 10, here's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to check in, and what are they going to do? They're going to be at a restaurant, for instance. They're going to get their free appetizer, and chances are they're going to also get a meal, maybe drinks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And look at that. The company is now upselling their products to, you know, they're giving you something, but they're also hoping that you're going to buy something. It's actually a cheaper form of advertising if you really think about it. So the next time, you know, you're planning to go to a restaurant, something like that, you know, definitely make sure you check out your iPhone, for instance, or your Android device, or whatever smartphone you're using, and see if there is a business around you, you know, that is offering a special. Let me give you a quick example of how you can do this. Basically, you would go onto your device here, and when there is a special, there will be a screenshot that pops up. It'll have like a little, like, you see at the bottom here, it has this, like, let's see if I get this focused here. So it has that little yellow border at the bottom. If there's a special at a place, you'll see a little image pop up, and it'll indicate that there's a special. So the last item that I wanted to talk about as it pertains to business is to reward people that are loyal customers. You know, we all go to the grocery store and we get those cards that say, hey, you know, you got your card, we'll give you a discount, right? Well, they're kind of eliminating those cards, and they're using this. And they're also using that GPS system, which I mentioned in here earlier. And what businesses are doing is they are rewarding people. You know, like I said, Foursquare is a check-in service. And there can be multiple people there at once, but if I check in, for instance, 5 days in a row at that business, and you've checked in only one time, for instance, I'm probably a more loyal customer than customer B here. And so what Foursquare is encouraging is for businesses to also take this a step further and to reward people that check in the most at their business. You will see this a lot at, again, I give you lots of examples here, but we're going to go back to the food one. You will see people like McAllister's Deli, for instance. You know, if you're the mayor at their place of establishment, they offer you a free combo. And here's the thing, all you can do is go check in. So, and again, there are typically restrictions on some of these. You know, like, you get the free meal, but, you know, maybe your friend doesn't. But again, you know, they want you to come back. And why do they want you to come back? Because businesses are competing, you know, lots of businesses, you know, are selling similar products and whatnot. And so customers have choices every time they want to go buy something. And you want to have, you know, the best plan out there or the best opportunity for them. You know, again, it's all about having the opportunity, right? And so as, you know, the mayor of a certain place on Foursquare, you want to, you know, as a business owner at least, you want to try to reward those customers. Why? Because you're going to keep them coming back. And, you know, you want to keep them happy. And by doing it, you know, hey, they come in, they check in, you know, you give them a free meal. You know, it doesn't cost you that much to get somebody in there. And what's going to happen? Think of it like this. If I come in and I have a free meal, and I'm going to try, like, let's say I try the chicken pita, for instance, and I really like it. What are the chances of me telling my friends, you know, that I really had a really great meal at that restaurant? Really good, actually. And I might actually recommend checking in on Foursquare. So not only am I encouraging people at that point, I'm encouraging people to try out this particular food at this place, try out this restaurant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you know. But I'm also driving businesses. I'm driving customers to this business. So in a sense, I'm a word-of-mouth marketer here for a business that, you know, they gave me a free sandwich. So there you have it, everybody. That is, those are tonight's tips on how to use Foursquare. for your business. Again, it's not about just being a restaurant. You have to kind of get creative with this. What can you offer somebody? I've checked into places and seen in areas where, it might be a nail salon, for instance. They might be offering you a 10% discount. They might be offering you a free manicure, for instance, with every third check-in. If you come into that, if you frequent that business, again, it's about getting a repeat customer. So I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this. Do you use Foursquare? Do you use Gowalla? Do you use Facebook Places? What kind of success have you gotten? And actually, what I'd really like to hear, what kind of discounts have you gotten? So feel free to leave me a comment below or visit my Facebook page and like it. I really appreciate that. So thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a great evening.